despite the, I think, fact that our system certainly isn't perfect, something which all Americans are deeply aware of. I'm also very proud that we're going to see well over 100 million people, probably 150, 170 million people vote. And I'm hopeful that we will get results fairly quickly, and because I think it is much better for all if there's a very clear winner. That may not be the case, but regardless, I'm very confident that our democratic institutions are at the very heart of what it is to be an American. It's the very heart of what it is to be the United States, and that they're going to continue. And I'm really glad that we're all getting a chance to watch it unfold. So thank you for coming. We are going to be going through, I think realistically, some of the more important polls, outcomes we won't really get a sense of until probably about 11:30 or noon, or even maybe a little bit later as the initial counts come in. But I think that what political professionals are watching right now is North Carolina and Georgia, both because they're important swing states, but more importantly because both of them are known for counting quickly and accurately. And so we should get fairly clear returns the next couple hours in those places. And even if we don't have final outcomes, they'll give us a sense of how each candidate is doing relative to expectations. So thank you, eat the food, drink the coffee, other drinks, and have a good time. And thank you very much for joining us on a day that's so special to the United States, to the U.S. Embassy in Malaysia, and to all my colleagues at the embassy. Thank you. Who wants to go first? You want to call it?
Star? All right, Your Excellency, can you give us a bit of comment about what is the impact of this U.S. president election, if a change of government or not? What's the impact for Malaysia in terms of its U.S. The new president, or for Malaysia's ASEAN chairmanship in 2025? Does it have any impact for our the stance of the U.S.?
Look, first of all, I want to start off by just stressing how delighted we are to see so many of our Malaysian friends here at our election watch party. This is something that we've done for previous elections. We didn't do it in 2020 because of COVID, but I was here and I hosted the one in 2016, which I remember very vividly. And so it's great to see so many people here. In response to what is the impact on Malaysia, I think that it's important to stress a couple of things. First of all, we have had over 65 years of diplomatic relations with the United States and Malaysia. The relationship has always been strong, regardless of who or what party is in the White House and who's the Prime Minister has been. Obviously, at times it's been stronger, at times a little bit less so, but I think that the underlying fundamentals of the relationship are what really matter, and I'm very confident they will continue. I think it's clear. Policies are likely to change if the president changes. But I think that the fundamentals won't. And the fundamentals are that the U.S. has a deep and bipartisan commitment to the Indo-Pacific. We recognize the importance of this region, and we also recognize that we very much need and strong ties with key partners in the region. I think if you look at the amount of trade, if you look at the strategic importance, it's very clear, regardless of who's in the White House, there will be a deep commitment to the Indo-Pacific. And some of the key drivers of our policy, including our competition with China, are not going to change. So I'm an optimist for the U.S.-Malaysia relationship. I'm confident that it is going to continue to develop. I think that the extraordinary amount of U.S. investment in Malaysia and the fact that U.S. investment that is committed actually is delivered, and isn't just delivered, it creates jobs and it creates opportunities for Malaysians, as well as the fact that the significant growth in U.S. exports to Malaysia, which is tied in part to the U.S. investment here as people bring in capital equipment to increase production, equipment for data centers, that creates jobs in the United States. And I think that's what's going to matter as we go forward.
RTM. Sorry, sir. Just wondering, a few days ago, our Prime Minister said he had rejected a call by Antony Blinken to stop being friendly with Russia. Would this impact U.S.
Look, first of all, I don't want to characterize or discuss diplomatic exchanges. Obviously, there's a reason why the press is asked to leave the room when they're meetings, and that's so that we can have candid and direct discussion. So I don't want to discuss those aspects. I mean, we fully recognize Malaysia is a sovereign state, and it has the right to conduct its relations as it thinks best. So does the United States. And the United States will take all appropriate and necessary measures to ensure that the U.S. interests are protected. And I'm very confident that within those constraints that we will continue to be able to find space to work together, and that each side understands what the core interests of the other are and how they can best be advanced.
Astro, AWANI.
So, Kuala, anything about the election?
What's your thoughts on that?
I have no idea. I mean, to be very frank, this is the closest. I mean, the polls are the closest this year that they've been in many cycles going back, including, if you look at the polls, they're closer this year than they were in 2000, where we had an election that ended up being decided by some 500 odd votes. So I have no idea. I'm deeply proud of the fact that so many Malaysians are coming here, both because of their commitment to the relationship, but also because of their commitment to democracy. And I'm very, very proud that so many people around the world complain to me. I have friends all over the world who complain to me about the fact, like, why is it that the U.S. election has such an impact, but they don't get to vote? And I know, and that includes people who are from countries where there's not a lot of surprise about who the next leader is going to be, and there aren't election watch parties. So I'm really proud that we continue to be a country where there's an election watch party, that people come and nobody knows what the outcome is going to be. I think that speaks very well to democracy, its power, and the commitment that the United States and Malaysians have to democracy.
Does this election have any impact on your appointment as ambassador here?
I am a career diplomat, so I think that the answer is no. But obviously the convention in our country is whenever there's a change of president, all ambassadors submit a letter of resignation. The tradition has been that for career diplomats it is not accepted. And so I look forward to continuing to serve in Malaysia. I think that this is a critical relationship. My family and I are so grateful for the opportunity to come back, and we're having a wonderful time. And I think that we've shown that there's so much the U.S. and Malaysia can do when we work together, and I look forward to having the opportunity to continue to work with our Malaysian friends, Malaysian colleagues, to try and look for ways to do better for both our peoples. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yang depan tu okey ke tak? Cara dia macam mana?